everybody. This is Noelle.
And I'm Jenna.
And this is More Than Murder, where we delve into everything eerie with a side of true crime.
More Than Murder is not your typical true crime podcast. Join us on a weekly tour through the haunted, the bloody, the creepy, and the nutty on our Freaky Fridays.
Yay! It's Freaky Friday.
I love Friday.
I do too.
The best day of the week.
Yes. You know, everybody looks forward to Friday. We say it all the time, but it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Me too.
Can't complain.
No complaints. No complaints. It's good weather on my way here to record.
Good.
Although on the highway there was a portion of hail, in the middle of the highway between here and there. It was weird.
When I left your house yesterday, I literally hit the same thing.
In the middle?
Yes.
Weird.
It was right before Wayland.
Yeah.
And I remember I stopped my cruise control.
I
and
went
I was
down
like,
a couple, yeah.
Oh, okay. What's going on right here? Am I coming into bad weather? And then
it stopped.
Gone.
Yes. Oh my God. So weird.
So weird.
It's like the pelt belt or something.
The squall zone.
That's right. In front of the hail.
Squall to the wall.
All right. So today we're going to a place I've wanted to go for a long time now, but not yet have had the chance.
Samesies.
And that is Salem, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to other places in Massachusetts, but I have not been to Salem yet. And we're going to go to two different places.
Ooh.
This is going to be a haunted episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to the House of Seven Gables, as well as the Witch House. And both look incredibly similar to me, and I was admittedly a little bit confused at first. I legit thought they were the same house, and so that's why we're doing both.
Yeah, I can see where you did that.
Yeah, I mean, they really look the same, really different. Yeah, so we're doing both.
All right.
It's not going to be a whole lot about the witch trials. It's more of a haunted episode. However, whatever piece of history fits these hauntings, and obviously we have to talk a little bit about who owned the buildings and stuff.
Yes.
We'll talk about that stuff.
Yep, so hit on it, but not really delving.
Yeah. We're not delving into the trials and all that.
Okay.
So, we'll start with the House of Seven Gables. Can't help it when stuff is spelled like that.
Yes, you have to say it with that less.
Gables. All right, so the House of Seven Gables was built for Captain John Turner I all the way back in 1666. Okay, there's a disclaimer.
All right, guys. So I just want to let you know that I adopted a cat, and this cat is very needy. She is meowing at the door right now. I apologize.
We're not sure if you can hear it, but
yes, if you can.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's Trinity, and she just is so needy. So.
But yet when she comes in, she wants to go back out, of course, because that's a
cat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's that.
Anyways, back to the show.
Back to the show. House of Seven Gables, built for Captain John Turner I in 1668. So Gables are the peaks on a house, which I wasn't really sure. So dictionary time, Gables are the peaks on a house.
Interesting.
So this house eventually had 7 peaks and multiple fireplaces. I say eventually because he started it off and then he added on, and then his son added on, and then another guy took away some gables, and then somebody added more on.
Okay.
So eventually, and now currently, it has 7 gables.
Cool.
Captain Turner, I like to say that because it reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so anyway, Captain Turner was a really, really successful fisherman, tradesman, and mercantile businessman. Maybe I should have said that he was a very successful fisher. Do you remember?
Oh my gosh. I so remember that.
What episode were you talking about? Who was that?
Shawcross.
Shawcross, yes. He was a very avid fisher, you said.
I think one of my last episodes I said sleeped, too.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, guys.
All right.
I promise I'm intelligent.
Yeah, so at the time, him and his family were the most successful maritime family in New England at that time. Before his death in 1680, he was able to complete some additions to the home as well as major high-class upgrades for the time. So it's now we look back and it's considered a really high-class, high-society interior house, the way he decorated it and designed it. After he died, his son John Turner II continued to make additions and upgrades, like I said. And then after he died, in 1782, along came another rich ship captain named Samuel Ingersoll, and he purchased the house. Samuel had a daughter named Susanna, and she becomes known as Susan, so after this I call her like Susan, I believe, who at one point invited her cousin over to visit. And this cousin happened to be Nathaniel Hawthorne, who lived nearby.
Huh.
This is where he got the inspiration for his novel, The House of Seven Gables.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. For a fun fact, another fun fact, I should say, because, he was like her cousin. I think that's a fun fact.
I think that's a fun fact.
Yeah. The second fun fact is that in 1958, historians had Hawthorne's house moved into the same property as the House of the Seven Gables.
Oh.
So they relocated his house because the House of Seven Gables is now a museum.
So that is also
and they
Cool.
coincided a lot. So if you want, when you go to the House of Seven Gables, you can just walk outside and tour Nathaniel's home as well. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe something was going on with that property. Maybe there was a bid for somebody wanted to buy the property, like Nathaniel's. I'm not sure. Now, some sources said that when John Turner II owned the home, people and children as young as 4 were being accused of witchcraft. And because of this, John Jr. built a hidden staircase next to the fireplace so that he could hide his sisters if he had to.
Oh, cool.
And there is an image of the hidden staircase, so it is real. But the speculation is that either John Jr. had it built for his sisters, or the other source claimed that Captain Samuel was the one to install the fireplace, or the staircase behind the fireplace. So I'm not sure exactly who did it, but it sounded more probable that it would be John Turner, because that was closer to the Salem witch trials, and Captain Samuel bought the house, I think it said in 1782.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it was a while after.
Neat.
So apparently in Nathaniel Hawthorne's book, the hidden staircase is part of the story. So according to another historian, the attic of the home was once a servant's quarters. So that's important for my next portion, which is the ghost stories.
Okay.
I didn't want to take up too much time on the history, as I said, so now that we have a basic history of the owners of the home, we can move onward with the ghosty stories.
I am ready.
There are several little ghost stories surrounding this house, but one source did say that it depends on who you ask, but of course, right. There's always skeptics or people who just don't have or have never had their own personal experiences at all, or even in the house. So, seen wandering the hallways and peeking out through the windows is Susanna Ingersoll. She lived in the house until she died, after her father passed it on to her when he passed on, and it seems as though she never left. So you can see her not walking in the hallways, but if you're in a hallway and you're walking, you're going to see her peeking into the hallways from other rooms, poking her head out, seeing what's up, what's going on, who's in the house. And then she's also looking out windows and stuff. So I'm like, ooh, that's one of the places you'd want to make sure you take pictures of the outdoors, lots of pictures.
Yes, all the way around.
So apparently there's a man. This one kind of gives me goosebumps, just the way it's said. So it says that there's a man that can be seen clambering up and down the hidden staircase, and no one really knows who he might be.
Ooh.
So there's just a guy. I've got goosebumps right now. Just scurrying up and down the hidden staircase.
Yeah.
Ooh. Gives me creeps down to my toes.
The herbadubs.
Yeah. Some people thought that it had a connection to the Underground Railroad, but the staircase itself wasn't built, I guess, until after the Civil War ended. But when did the Civil War end?
Civil War was in the 1860s.
Yeah, so that source isn't correct. I'm gonna have to cut that out, because if they said that the person who may have installed it the latest was Samuel, and that was at 1782.
Then it was definitely built before the Civil War.
We're going to take that out.
Okay.
So yeah, it could have... So I'm just going to say, some people thought it had a connection to the Underground Railroad, which I guess could have been... It could have been.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no other sources that say anything about it, but it could have been. So, to go along with the attic, there's a little boy who has been seen playing in the attic, and you can hear his little giggles and footsteps when you're down below.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so there are 2 stories as to who this little kid could be. The first is that he was one of the servants, or at least one of the servants' children, who may have passed all that time ago. Maybe he even passed in the house. Maybe he was like, it was at that time period, people had illnesses that you couldn't cure.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
The other version is that the boy is actually Nathaniel Hawthorne's son named Julian.
Huh.
So maybe because Nathaniel liked that house a lot, or whatever, he might not have even ever have taken his son there,
but
he could have still had a connection to the house because Nathaniel had a connection to the house,
and Nathaniel's house is now
right next door,
moved, so it's
very possible that he kind of jumps around. I like that story a little bit better, that version.
I hear you.
It's kind of a cool version. So the last one for this house is that visitors often report feeling the usual things, which are nauseousness and anxiousness in the attic.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the servants' quarters, you would feel like a lot of those people might feel very anxious and sick. Like I said, if it was a little boy, maybe he was ill. And others have reported hearing disembodied voices in other parts of the home. So those are the normal, feeling anxious around, spirits and high points of energy, or nauseous, and hearing disembodied voices. Those are, the common, I feel like.
Yes.
You and I are constantly hearing disembodied voices. And so Jenna and I, the past couple days, have been doing something at my house, and my kid's, upstairs for a nap. And twice I have heard what I thought was the TV upstairs. And I go up there, and he sits up all comfortable, still drinking his milk. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, did you have the TV on? No, I was laying here drinking my milk. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. And we've been hearing, same thing with a couple weeks ago when we were recording. At the end of one of the episodes, I told Jenna, because she was going to peek out the window. I was like, yeah, I know. I've been hearing a lady mumbling out there for the past 10 minutes.
Yep.
She looks out the window, and there is nobody even across the street. There's nobody.
Not a soul.
So we've been hearing disembodied voices up the wazoo lately.
Yep.
So if you guys hear anything like that in our recordings, don't pay attention to this one because it's probably just the cat. But
Dang cat.
Dang cats. So we're going to move on now to our second house, which is the witch house, also known as the Jonathan Corwin house. This house has a direct link to the Salem witch trials, and we're going to talk about how and the hauntings that are in the house now. So this house was built in 1675. It was then purchased by Jonathan Corwin, who was a judge on Salem. He was born in 1640, and he died in 1718, which means he was 78 years old. And
that's very
if you
good
ask
for the
me,
time.
Yeah, that's some sort of witchcraft on his part, staying alive till 78, because at that time, that's old.
Patriarchy probably were the witches at that time, and they're, blaming it on the women so no one gets the splash. What else?
Or they went to the women so they could have eternal, and then they just threw them under the fucking bus.
Yeah, or
even though they were the ones helping them.
Yep.
Fucking assholes.
We broke it, guys.
Yep. So, I don't really care if I'm talking bad about Jonathan Corwin. He was, of course, a huge Puritan, and he was only 24 years old. It's not Mathers.
I guess I didn't know that, though.
Yeah, he was only 24 at the time. According to my source.
Yeah.
People come at me if it's wrong, because our sources say some things that
different sometimes.
I cannot fact check. Yeah.
But, I mean, it could make sense, though.
Yeah, because I know Cotton Mathers was actually pretty young when he came in, too.
Weird.
But, yeah, so Jonathan Corwin was only 24, and he actually took over for Judge Nathaniel Saltonstall in the court of Oyer and Terminer when he resigned after the execution of none other than Bridget Bishop. So Jonathan Corwin took over for the judge who was residing over the execution of Bridget Bishop. So, being a Puritan and a judge, naturally, Jonathan Corwin then presided over the rest of the Salem witch trials while he was around. And ended up being one of the men who sent 19 people to be murdered on based on speculation of witchery, along with Judge John Hawthorne.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, that's a tough one for me. Judge John Hawthorne.
Say that 10 times fast.
So, another one of my fun facts. Judge John Hawthorne was the great-grandfather of Nathaniel Hawthorne, the one who wrote the book on the other house we talked about, the House of Seven Gables.
Strange.
Yeah, very strange. At least that's what my sources said. And it was interesting because once I read about Judge John Hawthorne being there in Massachusetts, like in Salem, and then I was like, wait, Nathaniel Hawthorne. I was like, I wonder if they're related. And then as I read on, it said he was the great-grandfather. So I'm like, hopefully that's true. In Ghost Adventures, as you and I know, but they did investigate at the witch house. When they were using the spirit box or something, they got a voice that sounded like it was a woman who said Bridget Bishop. And if that's real, I suppose it makes sense because he took over for that judge who sent her
took her
hanging.
life.
Yeah. So, if you wanted to watch that episode, I think it was season 4, episode 5. I think it was called The Witch House, right?
And they were like the only crew that had investigated there. They had to get like special licensing to go there. So, it's kind of cool. Yep.
It was more awesome when we watched it a long time ago, but you can still watch it.
Yeah.
So, they say that there's also a Corwin curse on the house, or maybe on him, because Corwin and his wife had 10 children, but so Corwin and his wife had 10 children, but only 2 of those 10 children survived.
Oh my.
Yeah, literally all other 8 children died very young, mostly under a year of age. One of the daughters made it till she was 19 before she passed.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, 8 of their children passed away. And somehow you got John Corwin himself living to the age of fucking 78.
I know. It's
even though his kids must have had illnesses, he was getting witchcraft done and then sent him under the bus. I hate that guy.
Asshole.
Anyways, enough of that guy. Let's move on to the spooky stories.
Okay.
There's a cemetery down the road from the witch house where Judge Hawthorne is buried, and it's said that his spirit can be seen wandering the graveyard at night.
Ooh, cool.
And I know that has nothing to do with the houses, but it like has to do with Judge Hawthorne, and so I thought I'd add that in there.
Hey, that's cool. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Salem is just obviously a hot spot for paranormal activity in general. I could have made the whole episode just Salem, but I wanted to talk about these 2 places.
And maybe one day we will.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll go there and be able to actually make our episode off our own research from going there.
I want to go so bad.
Locals and residents claim many spirits from the street come into their homes.
Oh.
So they just wander around because these homes are really historic still probably. You never know when they were built. Who knows? Maybe the spirits wandering around, those are their homes. And they just... I kind of picture it as like a New Orleans where there's just spirits walking around everywhere.
And that's the thing is it's the land.
Right.
That
it's
is
the land.
Feeling that energy. It's not like a specific house. It was that whole town and that whole energy that was built off of the grounds.
Yeah. Inside the witch house, there are reports of the usual in any haunted place, which are cold spots, of course.
Yeah.
There's also the rumored disembodied voices. Visitors have heard a disembodied voice while touring through the home, and I'm thinking, could it be perhaps Bridget Bishop, just as a Ghost Adventures thought, or maybe it was any of the other souls sentenced by Judge Corwin?
Yeah.
Because they could be coming for him now. Visitors also report being touched by unseen things, and some people have claimed to have heard the voice of a little girl. Perhaps that could be the youngest child to be jailed by the the basis of witchcraft. Jailed by the basis of witchcraft. Her name was Dorothy Good, and if that last name sounds familiar, that's because she was the daughter of Sarah Good, who was executed for witchcraft in 1692.
Yeah.
And what they did was they jailed Dorothy when she was 4. Her name actually before was Dorcas.
I love that. Oh my gosh, Dorcas.
But it's now Dorothy, okay?
I'm going to get an animal and name it Dorcas.
That's perfect.
Yes.
So she was only 4 when they jailed her because they thought that her mother was a witch. And they jailed her until she confessed that her mother was a witch.
Oh, that's awful.
Yes. So Dorcas was forced pretty much to say that her mom was a witch when she may or may not have been, and was jailed at 4 years old, and then finally was released once I believe her mom was put to death.
Them early, like, colonial jails were probably not very good.
No, they weren't.
At all.
Like, if anybody's watched the show Salem, I know it's silly, but it's, like, pretty historically accurate. And if you see their little barracks, it's pretty ridiculous.
Awful, man.
It's just, like, literally outside and a hut with, like, straw and bars. And it's, like, it's bad. Mm-hmm. It's said that when Dorothy was released from jail, like I said, after her mom was admitted being a witch and then she was executed, she wandered the street without her mom, poor and homeless, until she died at 16. I do not know what happened to her father or why he did not take care of her. Maybe it was because he thought she was a witch too. I don't know. Maybe he was a Puritan. Who knows?
Who knows?
So,
Salem.
That was Salem. We gotta go someday.
Oh, definitely. 100%. It's really not even that far.
No.
It's really not that far.
Yeah. And my cousin lives in Boston, and it's only 15 miles away from here, so I'd like to go.
Yeah. I've been to Boston.
I've been to Cape Cod, and why do I always forget the name of that? Provincetown. I love Provincetown.
But never
Salem.
Never Salem, no. I'd love to.
So all we gotta do is save money and take a vacation there if fucking COVID would ever go away.
I know. Bye-bye, COVID, please.
I know. I want to go places.
Same.
Not even, like...
Is it going to be the same, though? Like, I feel like the day that they're like, okay, no more masks, free world, like, how am I going to react to that?
I'd like to say that I'd go outside and breathe fresh air amongst a lot of people, but I do not want to do that still. I'd be like,
right? I feel like... Even, like, I'll watch a movie or something, and I'm like, whoa, they're getting close, or they're at a party, and I'm like, whoa, this is so weird and foreign.
It's only been a year.
I know, not even quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts, man. Who knows? I've kind of liked my introverted self during a pandemic, because it's like, I don't want to eat in that restaurant. Can we just order it in? And then it's like, he can't say no to me.
Yeah.
And then I refuse to go into the stores and stuff. So I'm like, all right, this is cool.
I don't mind doing that as long as I'm staying away from people. I think that I'll like it because we'll be able to travel, but I still don't want to go. I haven't actually been a big group people in a long time. I have not gone to a movie in the movie theaters in years because of my own personal reasons of being terrified.
Yeah.
I have not gone to concerts, although we were supposed to go to Matchbox 20 in August, and that got rescheduled because of COVID, so hopefully this year we might be able to go to that.
Yes.
Because that's been a dream. But, yeah, that's about all I'll do with a big group of people, because big groups of people scare me anyways. You never know what some fucking freak is going to do these days. Well, like, seriously.
I was supposed to go to the Backstreet Boys this summer, too.
What?
Yeah, they were touring again, and I was gonna go. I was like, heck yeah, it's Backstreet Boys. But I don't even really like concerts, even. Like, I like concerts, but, like, halfway through the concert, I just get grumpy because people. And I just can't deal with people. And then afterwards, it's just a hot mess of just cars, and I don't
even know if I really like them. I hate the ending where there's all the cars and the traffic. Mm-hmm. But the last time I went to a concert was with you and Kayla. And it was totally ruined because they wouldn't let me switch out my sunglasses for my regular glasses.
Leave. Like, why couldn't you freaking leave? That's so stupid.
I couldn't come back in. If I was to leave, I can't come back in.
I know.
So I was there in the freaking stadium in the dark with my prescription sunglasses. So I wasn't even able to fully enjoy the last half. I think
the last half you could enjoy because we rushed the stage.
Well, yeah, but I still couldn't see anything because I had to take my glasses off because it was too dark. I still had to take them off, and I'm like, oh great, they're blurry. I can't see shit. So it kind of sucked.
Kind of closer though.
Yeah, but I think after Matchbox, that's probably going to be my last. I was even like, when Gusti asked me, I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome, but I'm still apprehensive. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
People do crazy things in crowds, and I'm not a fan.
And even just after, like, this change, it's just like, do I want to be around that many germy people? Like,
I know.
I don't know.
I know.
I've loosened a little bit, you know, like I go grocery shopping with Sean and, you know, I'll go into the stores and stuff, but it's still just weird. It's a weird feeling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got off track there. Hello.
Yeah, we did.
All right, so yeah, that was Salem and Haunted.
And yeah, I will tell you that you can go ahead and go to YouTube and listen to the episodes there.
Yes, do that, please.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button. Get your friends to subscribe. Get your family to subscribe there. We need as many subscribers as possible. And keep your eye out for special video content.
We will get there.
We will get there, and keep your eye out for some of our upcoming podcast episodes we're going to video record. Mm-hmm. And then go to Facebook to see our lives. Don't just go to see them. We can tell when you're watching, but you never say anything. So say something. Say hello when you hop on. And then, follow us on Facebook at
More Than Murder.
Have your friends follow us on all these places as well. Mm-hmm. Go to Twitter and follow us at
More Than _Murder.
You can go to Insta and follow us at
More Than Murder Pod.
And for the love of God, you can send us an email at the Gmail at morethanmurderpod@gmail.com.
Email at the Gmail.
Email us at the Gmail.
Yes.
And make sure you go to our website. Sign up as a member. It's free. You can go and talk on the forum with a community, form a community.
Share blog posts.
Yeah, you can view the blog posts. You can view the blog posts anyways, even if you're not a member, but you can share them when you are. Mm-hmm. You can see all these awesome pictures that we take so much time getting for you guys and uploading onto our website. So check those out while you're listening along if you can. If you want to see what the House of Seven Gables looks like, there's a picture of it up there. We got a picture of the staircase. We got a picture of Corwin. We got a picture of everything. So
everything.
Just go and look.
Yes.
Okay.
And where can they look at that website? What is that website?
That website is www.morethanmurderpod.com. And we will see you next time. Bye.